All right, welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. We continue. Well, the island of Jamaica has a quite unique sports culture, with high school sports often outshining the professional leagues through fan support and engagement. Therefore, events such as ISSA schoolboy football and boys and girls champs often serve as a catapult for aspiring athletes to be seen by the world. But it's not only athletes who thrive in this space. It has also been an avenue for young journalists, commentators and analysts to find their way in the sports media space. Well, ISSA themselves have seen this and have begun an initiative, the ISSA Goalside Reporters Program, aimed at fostering high schoolers who are aiming to become sports journalists. Well, joining us this afternoon to tell us a bit more about the program is Andrew Walcott, Director of Easel Media Group, the executing agency on behalf of ISSA. So good afternoon, Andrew. So happy to have you in our studio.
Thank you for having me, Mariah.
All right, so I know our viewers are excited because our team here also very excited to find out a bit about this initiative. And one, how did you and ISSA come up with this?
Okay, so I mean, you went through a lot of the basics already, but this has been a discussion between us and the managers or the head of ISSA for quite some time. Since 2019, when we started working with them as a digital partners, we've noticed that, you know, whilst we can cover a lot of the games that they want to show, and when it comes to champs, we can be there, there's so much that we're unable to get to.
Yeah.
So we wanted to find a way to mobilize persons who are students who are already at these matches, who can capture content, who can broadcast it, and who can also just be there and share what the experience is like for places that maybe SportsMax or any other or other media partners not able to get to. And then we thought of adding an educational component. So we want to bring on, of course, whilst they're going to be working with us and competing for prizes, we want to also train them and have partners that are experts in sports journalism, giving them tips and helping them along the way.
Yeah, and you know, you speak about those competitions and everything, and I think it's exciting. It's something that will appeal to the audience because everybody that takes part in certain initiatives wants to see how they're going to benefit at the end of it. You listed a few benefits. Can you tell us, like, just some other ways? Because I know you have to sign up and everything for the program. They have to, of course, pay a fee to be a part of.
Absolutely not. There is no fee. It is free for students. So that's one of the important things about it. There is a maximum in terms of how many people we're going to take on. So if you're interested, we urge you to go and hurry up and register. We have up to 50 persons, 50 students, high school students that we're going to take onto this program, a maximum. And so we're also looking at it as an opportunity for them to launch their career. I know if you look at someone like, I believe, Nikhil, he has started his career probably on Instagram and then kind of launched from there. So We're looking at this as an opportunity for students to build their following. We don't want to just, we're using ISSA's platform as well to promote their content, and we're going to try and make sure that the quality is good enough.
Well, look at this. This is news to me because I will be a part of the team as well. And all along, Andrew, I was thinking that, you know, the youngsters would have to sign up and, of course, like any other program. So this even makes it extra special.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a little bit of a selection process. So when you sign up, we're going to ask you to send in a video telling us why you think you should be one of us, one of the participants in the program. And it's an opportunity, again, for you to show, you know, your passion for sports journalism. So even in the starting, it's going to be exciting for someone who really wants to get into the field to like curate their content, and then, you know, just keep, you know, it goes from September to December, and all throughout the period, we're going to be having, you know, experts in the field like yourself. We'll have Alexis Nunez, we'll have George Davis, Trishana McGowan, as well as Nikhil, who was just on with us as part of the program. So you're going to be able to learn from all of you guys, and you know, we're going to want to bring it forward even after December, after we see how the program runs, and hopefully we can have more students be a part of it.
Yeah, so Andrew, how much of this will be face-to-face? Because you just mentioned Alexis Nunez, who was one of the earlier hosts of the SportsMax Zone, and Nikhil Uttam-Chandani, who don't reside in Jamaica. So obviously a lot of that would be Zoom or some other method like that. But how much, or is there any part of it that would be face-to-face?
So it is almost completely virtual.
Yes.
And we wanted to make it that because like that, so it could be as inclusive as possible. But because this is supposed to be available to everyone in all 14 parishes, we don't want to burden them with having to come anywhere. We want them to be able to cover what's happening in their community, in their parish, and then still be a part of the educational components. Yes, we're going to have sessions. They're going to be online. At the end of it, we're going to have everyone participating. If you showed up to enough classes, you're going to get a certificate. Yes. So you have an official something to say that you participated and you're a part of this program. And then the competition aspect, I believe, is going to be one of the most exciting parts because we're going to have challenges every week. So say, okay, maybe this week we want you to go and see if you can interview, a coach. And how you're going to go about that, get the best content, and then we're going to be judging it throughout the period and then assigning prizes.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned, Mariah would be one of the tutors. Exactly what would Mariah do?
So we have different modules per se. So Alexis would be coming in on the first one to teach about the basics of sports journalism. Yes. So she will be talking about her journey in it and what she found was important.
Which will be inspirational, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially to hear from her, somebody who has gone through this already.
We want Mariah to talk about interviewing techniques and research. So I know if you are into sports and you want to interview a certain athlete, where do you go to get information on this person? Yeah. We want someone like you to be able to tell them exactly where they can go, if it is cricket, if it's football, if it's swimming, something like that. We think that's going to be helpful for them to build their stories.
Yeah. And will the candidates be completely from school? Or are there avenues for maybe someone who just left school and still aspires to become a sports journalist be a part of this program or not?
So this program right now is just for high school students.
Yes.
In Jamaica.
In Jamaica. Yeah. It's just for high school students in Jamaica. And so afterwards, as I said, it ends in December. We will look into how we can expand it and how we can make it more inclusive. But right now, that is how it is.
How did you rope in someone like Nikhil Uttamchandani? Because I know from his school days at Harrison College in Barbados that he had this passion and this interest in being a broadcaster or a reporter or a cricket correspondent. And to see him elevate himself to the level that he is now has been very impressive. And I've told him that. How did you get him involved?
Well, I'm not going to lie. It's been quite easy to getting everybody involved. I think every one of the persons that we've approached, including Nikhil, they've been very excited. And Mariah, they've been very happy to be a part of the program. They think it's they've seen themselves benefit from programs like this and want, in a way, be a part of something. Even though it's the first one, they don't know what it's going to be like, but they want to still be a part of it, and it's been really nice.
Yeah. For me, it's a chance to give back, Lance, and I think even when I wanted to get involved in journalism, there wasn't many opportunities like this, even as a person in school, because you think that these courses are mainly for people after university who really wants to specialize, but for a kid to get that opportunity at such an age and then to start thinking in that direction, because I always say if you had asked me in primary school or secondary school what I wanted to be, I just want to be the regular Dr. Lois, because you never really think that you'd be on television or you would be a commentator, things like that. So I think that's why I rushed to the opportunity to, be able to speak to these kids from such a young age and, just have an impact when it comes to this.
Well, I want to build on the point that you've just made, Mariah, because what you just said is exactly what I'm feeling, because I went to school in the 1970s and there was no way I could tell my mom that I wanted to be a broadcaster.
It'd be a joke.
Because it just wasn't, it wasn't on. So while I was in school, being a sports commentator was the last thing that was on my mind. And I just want to emphasize to our viewers and our school students now that there are a lot of opportunities out there for you that didn't exist in my generation. And maybe if you had a program, Andrew, that you have now, while I was in high school, maybe I would have thought of this as a career and not having it such a distant thought. Or, well, it wasn't even a thought. As I said, I didn't aspire to become a broadcaster until after I left school.
Yeah.
Because while I was in school, it just wasn't a career that people think of. So I take the point that Mariah just made. I'm anxious to see this thing take off, and the sort of response that you will get from the candidates and so on. Keep us in touch, because we have people who will be involved. Mariah, George Davis, who was a recent host of the Zone as well.
Nikhil,
Alexis,
one of ours.
Yeah, so it's in our partnership. Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to, the partnership with you guys as well.
Thank you so much, Andrew. And, I'm looking forward to being a part of it, hoping that we can impact lives. And for me personally, I hope that it can expand to the Caribbean, because I know a lot of kids back home, like I can speak for my country, Trinidad and Tobago, who would love this opportunity as well. So I see ways for it, of course, to expand.
I have big vision, and I know that ISSA as well has a big vision for something like this. And Greenfield, which is our backer.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much again, Andrew. Andrew Walcott from, of course, he is the director of ISSA Media Group. And we're looking forward to this. And as Lan said, we'll be keeping a very, very close eye on the development and the progress with this program. We're taking a quick break, and maybe I'll just be back with Zone Update 2. Stay and find out.